They've had some great comebacks. Now they've got to do it without their fans at a time where they're struggling at home.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I thought it was a disappointing performance overall. They can do it still. They've got the players to do it. Madrid aren't. This isn't a vintage team, but it's just Liverpool aren't on top form at the minute. And we did question before the game, was that Arsenal thing, the game, a flicker of light? Was it the resurgence of this team? On that evidence, then they've still got a long way to go. But, they've got to find something, and there have been miracles at Anfield before. Yeah,
strange things happen. I mean, it's not all lost anyway. 3-1 is not the worst result in the world. 3-0, on the other hand, would be.
Yeah, no, the away goal's so important, isn't it? But just didn't feel that they got close to anyone tonight. Kroos dictated the game, didn't feel that they got into him. Vinicius' pace was causing trouble all evening. The one plus point was obviously the away goal, and they're back to Anfield, and they'll be hoping for more.
The experience. We always talk about experience as well at this stage of the tournament, knockout phases. The Modric, Kroos, Benzema, them three there, bringing the others through. Vinicius.
Liverpool have got experience now. They've got a lot of Champions League winners on that pitch as well. And the players up front have been.
Yeah, but these boys we're talking there have got hundreds of games at this level. And then they've been here many, many years, not just the 1 or 2 years like Liverpool players. Yes, they've had recent history in this tournament, but them players I'm talking about have been in this tournament like 10, 15 years. And so that counts for a lot. And when you've got young bloods alongside you like Vinicius, who's been touted as one of the next superstars to come out of Brazil, today he showed up in the Champions League and give us a little example of what he's about.
Yeah, I was disappointed with the midfield area, I thought, tonight. I thought we all said that the midfield would be a crucial point. 29, 31, 35 years of age. Now, they're brilliant on the ball, and that's what Spanish football is. It's dictating the ball. But I just think you can, if you go at them, if you have the energy, like when Anderson's in there.
That's normally the Klopp and Liverpool way. So why are they not playing that way now?
Well, Rio made a good point right at the start, I think, and I think it starts from the back. When you're so confident in your back two that they can go 1-to-1, you can squeeze, you can do whatever you like, you can flood men forward, you can push your full-backs forward again. You can do so many things, but when you're vulnerable at the back, it goes down like a pack of cards.
I think it's having a knock-on effect, not only on the midfield, but also perhaps the full-backs who have been nothing like
it's a knock-on effect. It's like a domino effect. And now they're just not pressing with the same enthusiasm, with the same energy. And this midfield that they're playing against, yes, it's brilliant. It has been brilliant for so many years, but you can overrun them with pure energy and physique and everything, and I'm sure you could at Anfield, but it just doesn't feel like that energy's in that engine room at the moment.
Can you see them turn it around, Peter?
Listen, they've got the ability to do it. I think if there was crowd in the stadium, it'd be a different story. It is a lot more difficult now. But watching Real Madrid tonight, we have to take your hat off as well when you do let those boys play in midfield. And I thought they defended well tonight as well.
A word on Zidane, before we tell you what else has happened this evening. Zidane, he pulls out some results, doesn't he?
It's amazing what he does. I mean, the way he's got this team, and you wouldn't sit here and say that this is one of the best Real Madrid teams you've seen even in the last 4 or 5 years. But he just manages to get big results at big moments. And today they showed up. And I was convinced before this game that the Liverpool would get something out of it. And they really just came and they dusted Liverpool down.
In the second legs.
Yeah, exactly. And what's good about it is that the 2 second legs have still got a bit to play for.
Lots to play for.
Yeah, you hate to go into the second leg and it's like a 3 or 4-0. Yeah. We're going to be going to Anfield and hopefully with something to do.
Yeah, I think we'll quite enjoy that night. And they'll have a real go. They've got to have more of a go than that, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, at half-time, 2-0, you are really worrying. I think Jurgen Klopp would probably have taken 3-1 at half-time.
Oh, unquestionably, I would say.
It gives them a chance.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the Salah goal that has given them that vital away goal. We discussed them playing through the lines and playing quickly.
Yeah, and it's that man again, isn't it? Mo Salah. How many times has he come to Liverpool's rescue with big goals? But Liverpool play really well, as you say, through the lines, direct play along the floor, fast. Jota was great little dummy there. Just falls to Salah. His touch isn't great. It bobbles back between his legs a little bit, but he manages to just prod it home. And that, straight early on in the second half, you think, right then, come on, Liverpool,
just
start the game
onside.
And yeah, exactly. They took a lot of time, actually, to come to that decision. But they got there in the end, which is the main thing.
I think the big part of that goal is the speed with which they played through the lines. Just the first half was slow and it was just cumbersome. There you saw there was an injection in pace in the game, and that's what we talked about before. Can Madrid live with that kind of pace when they play quick? They couldn't for that instance, but they couldn't maintain it.
Yeah, that was the only shot that Liverpool had on target against a team missing their two key central defenders.
Yeah, I mean,
and Ramos.
Just not good enough, was it? It was. I don't know what was happening there. There was a lack of cutting edge. I think it was the only moment really in the match where, as Rio said, they injected a little bit of pace into it, and you felt that they were going to create, and it just wasn't anywhere near enough of it. No,
Vinicius certainly was his night, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's sort of... You watch him sometimes, don't you? Think, wow, what a player. But then sometimes you think he goes missing a lot of the time. He is young.
His finishing has been poor in the games that I've seen, a lot of them, but it certainly wasn't this evening.
It wasn't this evening. He was a constant thorn, wasn't he? And obviously, Trent's best attribute is going forward. He's a brilliant passer of the ball. Showed on occasions tonight how good he is. But on this side, he got a little bit of joy. I mean, I felt this was almost a knock-on effect. I mean, Rio, you'll know better, but everyone seemed sort of half a yard short from this moment to then Fabinho and then in the middle. And
everyone's static. You've got one player in the box there against 4 Liverpool red shirts. He runs off of Trent there. Trent's got to go over him there. In the box, you've got to stay, or at least you've got to scream to your centre-back partner, man on. I don't think he does either. And then I don't think Nat Phillips can react in that short space of time. And it's a
goalkeeper,
maybe the keeper, but it's a decent finish. I mean, he's only had 4 goals before this game, Vinicius, and today he gets 2, and he looked a real player.
He certainly did. The damage was done early on, though, wasn't it? I think you've had a look at the goals in the first half.
Yeah, and we talked about Madrid losing their 2 experienced centre-halves, but obviously the same has happened for Liverpool a little while back. And here, this is Toni Kroos, we all know what he's like when he gets the ball and how good he is. He gets the ball here, the ball's out of his feet. And what's he doing? He's scanning the pitch. Who's available, who's on. And once that happens, as a centre-half, you can't stand in a line like this.
We hear the phrase a lot, Rio, don't we? You cannot go forward when there's no pressure on the ball. Explain exactly why you can't do that as a defender.
Yeah, well, like I said to you there, Toni Kroos is the man on the ball. He's scanning the pitch. When he's got no pressure on the ball like this, there's nobody in front of him to get his head down. His head's up, he can see the whole pitch. Once that happens, and you know there's pace around you, for instance, as well. Benzema's quick enough. Vinicius, obviously, is very, very quick. As a centre-half, especially here, you've got to drop it. You're the opposite side of the ball. Drop off a little bit. If he just drops off maybe to around I'm not talking 10 yards, 5 yards, drop off. He then, at the moment, he can only see one person. Can he see? Benzema. That's the only person he can see. He can't see over his right shoulder, who is Vinicius, who is the man who gets in. And I'll slow it down here. The moment he looks, there he looks now, right? His body is facing which way? Phillips is facing this way. He's now got to turn 180 degrees to get round. The man running, Vinicius, is already on his bike to get in there. So in a foot race, the man turning can't get up to a pace to catch the man who's already facing that way.
You've got to drop early to give yourself the chance.
If you drop early...
when there's no pressure, because when there's no pressure, they can pass the ball when it suits them.
Yeah, and if he drops early, the ball's now coming onto him rather than having to chase back.
Probably saying to the German media, do you know what, we've got an away goal, I'm actually quite pleased with that, whereas Pep, with a smile on his face, he's delighted with the win. So it's going to be so interesting when we get to watch the second leg in a few days' time.
Yeah, hopefully it's exciting for both teams, and Man City come out on top. But you have to respect Dortmund. As Pep said, they're an experienced Champions League team with a lot of quality. So to think we were just going to come here and Man City were going to dominate the whole game and Dortmund weren't going to have many chances is a little bit naive. And as I said, it shows the character that they come from back from a draw and got the win that they needed.
It's not over, but if you're going to win this competition, you're going to have to scrap.
Look, I think Pep's smart enough to know an away goal for Dortmund puts them in a decent position. Obviously, I think considering the form that they're in, they'll be delighted, Dortmund. They've found a way to get a goal. And I think Haaland will probably play a bit better in the second game, maybe get a bit more service. So they've got some good players on the bench, Hazard and Brandt, who can come and affect the game as well. But I think City, they'll be really proud of themselves in the fact that they found a way to get that second goal and keep pushing, because maybe in the past, when you're in a difficult moment, maybe confidence can go down. I think today they rose to the occasion. The big players stepped up, and I think this City team is different this year. That's in my opinion.
Yeah, mentality-wise, no question. If you were with us in the build-up, you would have heard Owen say that in his eyes, Jude Bellingham is a starter at the Euros for England. He played his part this evening, and we were really keen to hear from him. And I'm delighted to say a few moments ago he spoke to Reshmin. So we'll talk about his game in a moment, but first, let's hear from a young man who is such an impressive footballer. Here he is.
Jude, great to see you. Look, you did get the away goal, which I presume is priceless, and I presume that you feel it was very deserved.
Yeah, definitely. I think we frustrated them well when they had the ball. I think at times they found it quite hard to break us down, and we used the ball quite well and quite efficiently. And obviously for our goal, I think it's a brilliant bit of play to put Marco in, and it's a great finish. Obviously still disappointed to concede so late, but we'll use that away goal in the second leg and see what we can do.
How hard was it to play out there? It looked tough. What was it like to play in?
Yeah, honestly, I'm knackered now, but yeah, they're brilliant. I think they're one of the best teams in the world, if not the best. The way they move the ball and the way they kind of go to regain the ball after they lose it is world class. And you give De Bruyne that much time in the box and he's going to score, and you give him that much time around the box and he's going to put a ball into the box that damages us, and it did. So it's a bit of a frustrating one, but we'll move on.
You're nursing a bleeding knee as well.
Yeah, I know, that's from chasing him around, I probably.
Kevin De Bruyne, right?
Yeah.
You've got to tell me about what happened with the goal that wasn't given.
Yeah.
It looked like from the replays that you won the ball fairly. You tell me what happened in that.
Well, I definitely think I won the ball fairly. I think it's a bit frustrating in a time when they've got so many cameras and so many TVs watching the game that they don't wait for me to put it in the net and then check it. But as I said in the other stuff, it's football, it's life, and kind of just got to get on with it really.
What was communicated to you at that moment?
Well, all I got told was that I've been booked and that it's going to be a free kick for them. I think they should have maybe checked it, but yeah, apparently I had my studs up and caught the goalie, and therefore it was a foul.
As you say, look, you did get that very important away goal as well. What do you guys need to do next week differently, if there is anything differently that you can do?
Yeah, I think the same sort of plan in terms of without the ball, but with the ball, I think we've got to be a bit more efficient, create a little bit more, and take the game to them a little bit at home. And I think we'll be looking to do that.
Thank you very much,
Perfect.
Jude. Well done today.
Cheers.
Listen, he's great as a footballer. He's brilliant off the field as well, isn't he? He's so mature. He's 17.
Yeah, I
mate.
wouldn't have been able to conduct that level of conversation
You probably
at
couldn't do it
17.
now. What same age is
My son, my oldest son, is the same age.
How does that make you feel?
Nearly as old as you look.
What a smart young guy, though. Smart.
Good, technically good, physically good, everything. He's got a lot. I think he's special. He really is. For a 17-year-old to be playing at this level is scary. And I just think his timing of his runs is smart. His decision-making is really good. He's just got everything. And he had even a bit more finesse than I even thought he had, which I thought he had a lot of. And that's the thing he gives you. And that's why I say he might play for Gareth this summer, because in terms of running from midfield, he gives you something gives you a bit more power, And I think with his instincts and his reading of the game, this one I love. Yeah. This one for a 17-year-old kid, look around the corner, outside the right foot. The timing of everything is good, and that's what makes him, much better than his years.
Yeah, definitely. The maturity he plays with, his decision making, it can't be underestimated what he's doing at this level at 17. It's remarkable. We were talking about it prior to the interview that there's not another English midfielder playing at this level, but not just playing, like operating efficiently, like standing out in against Kevin De Bruyne. We matched him up before the game, and arguably he performed as well as Kevin De Bruyne in this.
So where would you, if you'd start him for England, where would you start him?
Well, I think Mason Mount's going to start just because he's, playing that number 10 position. I think he could play just in behind, because everyone keeps talking about is it going to be Declan Rice and Jordan Henderson if he's fit. They could probably play quite similar, too deep. Whereas I think if you play Declan and then maybe Bellingham just in front, and then with Mason, they're both really aggressive out of possession. Look, Gareth's got unbelievable options, but Jolie makes a point. He's playing in a game like this in the Champions League at 17, and he came here and he wasn't phased. He thrived on the opportunities. So I don't care if he's 17. He's up to the level. Let him play, because I think he's going to. I think he could make the difference.
Just a couple of questions about the refereeing this evening. He mentioned it as well. He said, "Why didn't the referee just allow me to put the ball in the net and then blow the whistle?" Right? He's a teenager who's not a referee. So the referee at this level should know what he's up to. Interestingly, we don't believe there's VAR in the Romanian league where this referee spends most of his time. And the amount of time he spent looking at the monitor pitch side as well for the penalty decision, it felt like the VAR thing wasn't quite right for him. And that's not necessarily right at this level, is it?
No, it's not right at all. And the thing is that he shouldn't be experimenting. It shouldn't be new to him. It shouldn't be a case of, oh, this is the first time he's facing that scenario at a stage of this competition. And as I said, it's unfortunate that it's cost you the goal in the Champions League. But